All right, everybody, welcome to our off-grid cabin. Here's our 400 square foot off-grid cabin. We've done a couple videos in the last few weeks, and a lot of you have had questions regarding how our water system works in our cabin. The water we use in our cabin is isolated inside this area. It's self-contained. No water from direct rain catchment goes into this tank. What we do is have various rain catchment tanks around the property from the cabin and the full pole barn. We have a whole video showing that rain catchment system. So if you want to check that out, check out this link in the corner. But right now, we're going to transfer water. We would like to filter all the water coming from our rain catchment before it comes into this tank. That keeps this tank more clean, and it's we can keep it isolated and keep better track of it.
Yep, keeps the pipes and everything clean and inside too.
Yep.
Which is important.
We have an outdoor pump system right here. We don't have like a traditional well where we can just open a spigot and the water comes out. Basically, this little pump is just a little $100 Harbor Freight pump. What this pump does is it has a suction hose. There's an in right here, Jen's pointing to. There's an out. Where does the in go?
Goes to the tank that we are connected to.
We most of the time leave it connected up to these two IBC Tote tanks, okay? These just get water from the cabin. This is what we do when we need to water little things. If we need a ton of water for watering the garden, we take water from our other systems. Again, if you want to see more on rain catchment, watch that video after this one. All we do, instead of opening a spigot, is we just plug in our pump.
It's just loud, so he's going to explain it all now before it comes on, because the pump's loud.
Yeah, this pump makes a little bit of noise, so we put this pool filter. This is a 1 micron end of the hose pool filter right on the end of our hose. What this does is there's no large debris in any of our tanks. We have filter socks over those, but this is going to take out all the little nitty-gritty stuff from the gutters. So that goes through this before it gets into our self-contained tank for the cabin.
And we can get these on Amazon, right? So we'll have links for those below and all our other rain catchment stuff as well.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff, and it's going to be easy for you guys to find if you want to find it.
If you want to have a similar setup.
Yep. So we're going to drag this over, and I'll show you our tank. So in here, I have slightly insulated a 275 gallon IBC Tote. Our water heater is also right here next to our IBC Tote. So all we do is stick the hose with the filter on it right here. You guys can check this out. So in here is our 275 gallon IBC Tote. All right, guys, so we just open this bad boy up, stick our hose in here. There we go. And open this valve. Go plug the pump in.
See the water coming out?
All right, guys, so we're on the other side of the cabin so we can run that pump. So you might say that seems kind of like a pain in the butt, something you have to do all the time to transfer water, but how often do we do that?
Once every 10 to 14 days, depending on our water usage.
Granted, there's only 2 of us, but we don't short ourselves. We're minimal, but we're not stingy with stuff. So don't feel like you can't take a long shower. Jen takes plenty of showers. I take plenty of showers.
Dishwasher, which uses a lot of water.
Yep. We don't, washing machine we're going to have out in our new mini cabin out near the pole barn. So that takes up quite a bit of water, but we're going to gather that water from a different source. And that should only take, we should probably only use 50 to 100 gallons, I would assume, a week. To do laundry. So we have plenty of water storage now to do that. But as a note, like I said, once every 10 to 14 days, we use 300 gallons of water. It's not that big a deal. We have 2 dogs that drink water. That's our drinking water. That's washing dishes. That's showering. We don't have a flush toilet, so that's like one less thing that
Yep.
we don't use water.
But
we have an outhouse.
shower.
We just don't use a ton of water. You don't use as much water as you think if you try to minimize a little bit, but not in an uncomfortable manner.
Right.
So we're not like
roughing it.
So anyway, guys, we're going to let that fill up. It takes probably about an hour to fill up 300 gallons of water. So we're going to go do something else, and then we'll catch up with you, and I'll show you how the cabin is plumbed underneath the cabin. All right?
And how it all works.
Yep.
That's a question a lot of you had on our rainwater video.
We got tons of questions about how the cabin is plumbed.
How it gets into the cabin and how we get hot water. So he's going to show you that all.
I have a couple old videos from when we originally did it, so we can try to put a little insert for one of those. But also, this video is going to explain it to its full integrity.
Yep.
So. All right, everybody. So our tank that we were grabbing water from is empty. And our tank into the cabin is about 80% full. So we're going to call that a win today. We just unplugged. You can hear the pump when it's not grabbing water properly. It gets whiny. Kind of like me on a bad day. On most days. So Jen's going to pull that filter out of there. And she's going to put the cap back on. I'll hold this. Tighten that down so no critters can get in there. And then she's gonna either close it up or take the camera.
Oh.
She'll probably take the camera. So that's it for that. I will show you underneath the cabin here in just a minute. But yeah, we just button this back up. Pull this down. Cover this all back up.
And that keeps the tanks, all this around it keeps the tank insulated also, so we can prolong our usage of it.
Yes.
So you see all this insulation around it.
With it being insulated like this and close to the cabin, and the back of it's actually open to our crawl space, that prolongs our season. We don't use this system probably for 3 months of the year.
Yeah, about January.
Yep.
February and March.
Yeah, we may have to close it down in December if if it's a cold December. And really for those couple 2 to 3 months that it is bitter cold here, we just melt snow.
Yep, you can check out that video too. We'll link that here, and we'll do another updated video for it this winter, just because we
like to update everybody.
Update everybody, and we learn how to do things better also. So
for sure. So this is our portable, on-demand liquid propane shower heater. We use it for the whole cabin. We're gonna put some concrete board behind this very soon and get it a little bit safer. We're noticing that our bubble foil is deteriorating a little bit from the heat. So we have a little RV pump that pumps through this into our shower and into our kitchen sink. And it gets us nice hot water on demand. So there's no waste of propane and keeping it warm all the time when we don't need it to. So we have nice hot showers, right?
yes.
So guys, one thing about our system here that you're going to call me out on that I forgot to mention earlier when we were filling the water tank is this bleach bottle here. We go downstate like once or twice a month for a few days, see family, friends, and what I do, put about a half a cup of bleach in this tank. What that does is help sanitize it, keep it clean, kill bacteria. We do that before we leave for 2 or 3 days. We come back. It's sanitized all the lines good, and it's dissipated a bit. So let's show you the rest of the system, all right? Let me open it up here. I haven't even really tightened this up super well. Little things that are on the list. Little things that are on the list still. This will be more better. More better. All right, here is everything. So it's a little dirty down here. It's not perfect, but check it out. Very simple though. All right, so over my shoulder here, I'm going to show you where the water comes from first. That's our tank that you just saw us fill. So over here to the right, you're going to see the bottom of our IBC Tote, our 275 gallon IBC Tote. The IBC Totes come with a valve on the bottom. This valve is open, and it is converted to a 3/4 inch fitting. All this stuff is insulated. I have insulated pipe insulation around it, so this is all pipe. This is all 1/2 inch PEX that runs around, but we have 3/4 inch that comes out of we start with 3/4 inch. We have a drain here, so we can drain the system, or so I can hook up a hose to our antifreeze to winterize it or drain it. This valve right here we can close as well and isolate all our water to the tank. And then I can winterize this and leave our water in the tank. If it's just going to be cold for a day or two, I'll close the water down and leave it in the tank. And then I can put some antifreeze in here and push it through our pump. And then push it through our filter canisters. Right here we have 2 filter canisters. So first off, this resembles an RV system because for a recreational vehicle or camper, because all campers, like underneath the high bed couch in the middle of the camper, they have like a 40 or 50 gallon water tank. That's what we have, but 275 gallons, okay? It runs over here to our 12-volt pump. There's a little strainer here for sediment catchment, but this is just a standard RV pump, 12 volt. It's the only thing in our cabin that runs on 12 volt. A little fuse here. And this is a pressure regulated pump, has a pressure switch in it. So when it pushes water into the cabin, around here, into these filters, all right, this is a sediment filter. Similar to the one that we use to fill the tank, just sediment filter. And then this one is supposed to be a 1 micron carbon filter. So this catches the big stuff, which is not much stuff at all. And then this catches smaller particles and some, let's say if we were to get water from another source and we had fertilizers or pesticides or runoff from a river or a lake. Say we got our water from a river or lake. This would catch a little bit more stuff. And then it sends it out here to our cabin. So our cabin only has 3 cold water lines. And there's a 3-port manifold here. You can see it right here. 1, 2, 3. This goes to our bathroom sink. Okay. We have just cold water in our bathroom sink. We don't need warm water in there. I decided that was something that wasn't necessary. We just brush our teeth and wash our hands in there. So we don't need hot water. This line right here wraps around and comes and takes cold water all the way over there and then over to the other side of the cabin for our cold water in the kitchen sink. And then this third line comes over here, feeds over here to our water heater. And then our water heater heats the water. It comes back and it splits in a T. And we take hot water to our shower this way. Hot water goes to our shower, which is right above all this. This is our shower right above us. And then the other hot water line goes over to the kitchen sink. So with this simple setup, we basically have 2 cold water lines and a supply line to the water heater. And then the supply line feeds the water heater. The water heater then has 2 lines come out of it. It has a T and takes 1 to the shower and 1 to the kitchen. So if I were to come up with a shortcomings of this system, it would be that our water in the shower is not, we can't adjust the temperature in the shower. So we have to adjust the temperature of the shower on the water heater. And the water heater temperature fluctuates with the temperature of the water. So if you're putting 70-degree water, like in the summer, that water's pretty much 70 degrees all summer. It's going to heat it up to about 100 to 110, whatever we set it to. 120. Jen likes it a little warmer, so about 100 and high 100 and teens is what we leave it at. But then once the outdoor temperatures drop and we start putting colder water in there, say the water is only 50 degrees, well, the heater is going to only heat it up about 40 or 50 degrees, whatever we have the setting to. So if we drop the temperature of the water 20 degrees, that means our shower water is also going to be 20 degrees cooler in general. Like, that's a, rough estimates. So then we have to come out here. Jen will have to get in the shower. There's a little readout on the front of the water heater that tells you the temperature of the water. I'll have to adjust the flame and adjust the water pressure to get it back to a proper temperature. Now, in the fall and the winter, like I said, the fluctuation of temperatures kind of make that a little more difficult. Sometimes I take a shower that's a little hotter than I want to. So if that is one shortcoming, I should have ran a cold water line to the shower as well, so you could mix the water at your own discretion. But yeah, originally when we built this bathroom, it's extremely small. Originally, when we built the bathroom, we had intentions of putting the water heater in the bathroom, so we could just reach outside the shower and adjust those temperatures. We did that in our bathhouse. It worked just fine. But when we ran out of space, I made some modifications or adjustments. So that would be one thing. I would say let's get a mixture of water to our shower. Or if you can put the shower heater in your, the water heater in your shower or near your shower where you could adjust the temperature, that's fine too. But anyway, we're going to talk about just that heater, but that's one shortcomings of this system. So let me show you guys these filters real quick. I'm going to have to turn the power off to the pump and close the valves real quick, and I will show you how this works. It's pretty simple. I'll show you how our filters look after 4 months. I think we replaced these in April or May. So I ran them for a month or so with the old filters, but now they've been in there for 3 or 4 months. So let's open the system up. I'll show you how everything works. So guys, I have not touched these filters since I replaced them and put fresh ones in, like I said, May-ish. So let's turn off. Let's just pull the plug here on our pump. All right. I have a switch in the solar shed. I could do that as well, but that's just as easy. Let's close our water tank. All right. Now there should be no water coming out of here. Nope, no water. And I don't believe the water will backfeed in a pump like this. This pump builds up pressure, pushes it into the system, and when it's a closed loop, once a pressure switch gets to a certain PSI, it turns the pump off. As soon as you open a faucet or the sink or take a shower, this will kick on and run continuously while you're using water. It's a little bit of noise, but it's not anything that's bothersome to us. Like, you can barely hear it when it's outside here. So, all right guys, so let's check this filter. Just leave my little tool here. Unscrew these. Dump a little bit of water out here. I'll meet you outside. I'll show you this. All right, so here is our simple, these are DuPont Model Series WFPF13003B. I was unable to find these on Amazon again. We bought them really cheap. They were like 20 bucks. And we could buy the filters to replace them pretty cheap as well. So this is like a real easy, cheap setup. A lot of these systems you see with 3 filters, I don't know what the third one is for, but this is sediment. Again, been in here for 3 to 6 months. You can see that it's discolored on the outside. and still white clean on the inside. And it's clean as a whistle in here. Very simple, very efficient, very effective system. I'll show you the other filter real quick, just for giggles. But DuPont Model Series WFP Whiskey Frank Peter Frank 13003 Bravo. So WFP FC 500 series. So, like I said, we got these waterfiltration.dupont.com. So hopefully I'll write that information down when I edit this video, because I did want to get a few extra O-rings. That was my only thing I don't have extra of, is O-rings, which is, you know, something that you should always have extra O-rings. So anyway, sediment filter looks pretty good. I've only replaced these once per season. They say they do 15,000 gallons, and as we told you earlier in the video, we use about 300 gallons. I would say about 600 gallons a month. So that's really only, you know, 7,000 gallons a year. So these should take care of you for an entire year, unless you have a larger family household, or have a dishwasher, or wash more dishes, or filter your water for laundry as well. When we do laundry out at the new mini cabin, if you haven't checked out our mini cabin series, we just started a little cabin about a month ago, and we're working on it, trying to get her to a safe point here, little at a time as we do other stuff. Check out our little mini cabin series. That's a fun build, and we're really enjoying it, really happy how it's turning out. So anyway, I'm gonna put this back on. I'll show you the 1 micron carbon filter. Here's our black, I believe it has like a mesh around it. 1 micron carbon filter. Little hole in the top, it seals right there. Hole in the bottom, seals with pressure. Same exact canister, just a little bit tighter knit filter. And again, this water, guys, in the cabin we use for showering and doing dishes, but we have a Berkey water system. I have a video showing that whole system as well for our drinking water. When we make ice or have, you know, drinking water or cooking water, we use the Berkey filtration gravity-fed system. Stainless steel tank sits on the counter in the kitchen, and we dump water on the top, and it gives us wonderful clean water in the bottom. So I did a whole video on that too. I tried to be as informative as possible, and I like to show you guys stuff that we've learned here over the last few years. So there's our 1 micron carbon filter. I'll put this back on there, get the system open back up. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Easy as that. We have a little outdoor thermometer here to keep track of this area. We put it over here closer to the pump in the winter time to make sure if it gets too cold, this pump, we know to winterize stuff. We just have 1.5 inch lines going from our sinks in the kitchen and the shower. We don't have any solids going through any of those lines in the kitchen or the bathroom, so I used 1.5 inch. I'm thinking I should have probably used 2 inch. We have some venting issues here and there once in a while with the shower going down and the kitchen sink going down, but I believe that is a venting issue. I'm actually thinking of digging up the far end of our septic, which is only a couple feet down, and putting in a surface vent. That way it will flow better. I'm thinking that's the problem. It's not terrible. I mean, it's just if we run the water for 10 or 15 minutes straight, it backs up a little bit. And I think, like I said, I think that's more of a venting issue than anything. So I know this isn't a solve-all issue for everybody, because everybody might want water in the winter, but we melt snow and use a little portable bucket shower system. We heat up the water on the wood stove and just put it right in the shower and take a shower that way. It's pretty easy. And it's a little more work, but in the wintertime we're not quite as busy, so we have time to do it, and it gets us moving around. So when we winterize this, we hook this little white hose to this drain that I showed you, this valve. Let the water drain out here, and then when the water's empty, we take that hose, that little white hose here, hook it up to that, and we put it in a gallon of antifreeze. That antifreeze is like $3 or $4 a gallon, and we can winterize our whole cabin for $3 or $4. And then, I take those filters out that I just showed you, put them back together with no filters in there, and push that antifreeze through the system. We turn the pump on, open the shower valve, open the bathroom sink, and open the kitchen sink until pink stuff comes out, and we're good to go. Works really well, actually. And that's exactly how an RV is set up. So for you guys who are new here, I hope that helped you a lot. If you have any questions, ask. We have a video about our simple septic. It's literally a 55-gallon drum cut in half and put in the ground here for all gray water. We use the outhouse for anything more than... Jenny has a small chemical toilet for the winter time and for nighttime, but any number 2s are in the outhouse. All of the number 2s are in the outhouse. So there's no black water, it's all gray water. There's no solids going through any of our lines into the ground. And similar to a septic system, some people have a misunderstanding of how a septic works. They think that septics hold all the water till you get it pumped out. Well, septics hold on to the solids, and then the water leaches into the ground. So there's floaties and soaps and all that stuff leaching into the ground either way. So don't give me that line about how it's leaching soap into the ground. Well, your septics all over the country do that as well. And it's flowing through a pile of turds before it leaches into the ground, where ours is not. Ours is literally just sink water from the kitchen and shower water and brushing our teeth water. So if you were to argue with me, I would say our water is far more sanitary to leach into the ground than the millions and millions of septic tanks that are around the country. And our nearest neighbor is a half a mile away. The water table is 200 feet down in the ground here, so none of that will ever touch the water table. We're not in a part of this, and like I said, no neighbors, so we don't have to worry about other people's shallow wells picking up any leaching from our septic system. So anyway, guys, there are tons of videos of me building this system that I did last May. So it's been, like I said, about a year and a half ago. If you would like to go back to those, I will try to put a link either in the description box or at the end of this video so you can watch me build this system and see it firsthand. You get a little bit more detail, a little bit lengthy video with, step by step of how to put it together. But a year and a half later, still treating us good. Just, and I haven't even, like I said, had to do any maintenance to it, knock on wood. So, change those filters once a year. So, Jen and I appreciate you guys sticking with us through all these years, or if you're new here, appreciate you watching this video and hope you could learn a little something from it. And, subscribe so you could see some of our future videos where we can have a lot of fun. We can build stuff. We can show you what we've done and our successes and some of our failures, which we've had a few of those as well. Appreciate you guys. Best wishes.